know tons more about the therapeutics.
Right, we know tons more about the therapy, even though we ignore much of it. But the fact is, most viruses attenuate as they come through human hosts. In other words, if you want to be the Napoleon of viruses and take over the world, you can't kill all your hosts. You have to. So there's a tendency for viruses to become more transmissible but less deadly, and that's what we're seeing with this.
Hmm.
Now, the issue though of masks, we watched it in the Chinese might have been lying, the government might have been lying about what was going on, but the doctors I think were pretty straightforward. And the first thing they said is masks don't work. It gets
Right.
into your eyes. It's everywhere. And the minute they started talking about that, it all rang bells with me about smallpox. I said, this is an airborne virus and this is a problem. That's when I started being concerned. Well, so I looked at the literature, and I will say, if you look at all the literature before the 19 or 2019, before COVID ever hit us,
Yep.
or 2020, you look at all the literature on masks, there is not one study that really that has any positive thing to say about masks and viruses.
Hmm.
What you're seeing now, and still, there's about 18, maybe there's a little more now, of actual controlled studies of masks. There's only
Well, what
one.
I noticed is that a lot of the studies that I was able to find back in April about masks are now gone. I can
Right.
no
I
longer
unfortunately
find
took a
them.
bunch off. Yeah, that's right. Dr. Rancourt, Dennis Rancourt from Toronto, Ontario, I think it was Ottawa or Toronto. He was a professor of physics,
Yep.
and he has a great review of it that I read early on. But there's more out there. I mean, the bottom line is that people where you can still find the controlled studies are at the Center for Evidence-Based Medicine, cebm.org, I think, but anyway, Center for Evidence-Based Medicine. It's out of Oxford, England. And they go through all of them, and they say there's nothing that reaches statistical significance. The other thing about the one controlled study of masks, which was done in a hospital, it was published in the British Medical Journal in 2018 or 2017, I think. And they looked at three groups. They looked at hospital employees wearing a standard surgical mask, not an N95, I believe. It was just a standard surgical mask. And I correct that. I think it was an N95 mask. That part I don't remember because I don't remember the data from that. But then they looked at cloth masks and they looked
Right.
at no mask. Okay. I've never seen cloth masks up until this. I don't know, and I've never used one of these little stupid ear loop masks in the hospital up until this. This is all kind of new thinking. But in any case, this study looked at it and they found out that not only did the cloth masks make no difference, 97% of the particles went through the mask and 44% through the surgical mask. And I believe it was an N95 surgical mask. But the people that wore the mask had 6 times the upper respiratory illness
Right.
viral upper respiratory illness than did the people that didn't wear a mask.
Yep.
And there's a lot of, I actually have a video on, I was asked to go out and be on the America's Frontline Doctors. So it's aflds.org. And you can find the myth of masks. And all those videos got banned initially, but they've got them
Yep.
back up. And
Oh,
that
that's
tells
good.
you, if it was really just about caring for people, why would you not want information out? Why ban somebody
Exactly.
just because they're talking about masks?